In this video, I will show you how to use the rubric generator in Khanmigo to develop a grading rubric with multiple performance levels and criterion based on assignment instructions and objectives. The goal of this video is to provide you with a launching point to build your own grading rubrics to then transfer them into Canvas rubrics to be used for grading, which will save you time. To get started, we need to have Khanmigo teacher account. The easiest way to get one, if you don't want to have one already, is to enable the tools in one of your Canvas courses. Sign up there, then move on. Here's a quick visual of how to do that. Starting in course settings, go to navigation, find Khanmigo teacher tools from the list of tools, enable it, save the page, then open the tools. When you open the tools, if your school email address is not already associated with the Khanmigo account, which is the same as Khan Academy, then you will sign up for free. An email will be sent to the address you have on file in Canvas with a way to set a password. Agreeing to the terms here gets you set up and logged into Khanmigo tools. Just so you know, the tools have been reviewed and approved by the district IT and legal team. I recommend you open up khanacademy.org/teacher/Khanmigo-tools in a new browser tab so that you have a better space for editing. Once you're in the tools, find and select the rubric generator from the list of tools. You can also narrow that down by going to the create tools. With the assignment instructions nearby, let's get started on feeding Khanmigo the information to produce a rubric for us. Set your grade level, choose college from the grade level dropdown, and then we're going to paste the assignment instructions. In the assignment description box, paste the full instructions. Use the space to also describe what a perfect assignment looks like. Sometimes our instructions don't make that fully clear, so this is time for you to really dig in and say what you are looking for a student to be able to do as a result of this assignment. You can also include competencies or learning objectives here, and that will help guide. And then we're going to add or generate criteria. So you can put in specific criterion up to 7 points here. And then if you have them, otherwise you can just let Khanmigo generate them based on your assignment description. It usually spits out about 3 criterion, and this is just a starting point, and you can refine them later. In this next part, you're going to choose the performance levels. It gives you a broad rating level. I recommend 3 to 4 levels for simplicity. You can always restart the process if you want to try a different number of levels and see how it works out. And you can also change these performance level labels after you generate the rubric. So the next part is to customize the rubric context. So in the overall notes section, you're going to explain your goals for the rubric. You can be as limited or as broad as you want. I recommend if you have a course that does not have any prerequisites, I suggest using a language level, saying design it for a 10th grade reading level. And this helps tailor Khanmigo appropriately for the appropriate language level. Let's press start to generate the rubric. Some key areas to be mindful on this next page. Well, this is a rich content editor. It's a lot like the one found in Canvas. You can edit the content manually, or you can highlight specific parts of the generated text, and you'll notice some tools pop up. You can rewrite, regenerate, or start a chat with Khanmigo about that section. Let's say you wanted to add other criterion that are not there. You can also start a discussion with the slide out. And this is a chat window similar to one you would use with ChatGPT. In fact, the Khanmigo language model is built off the same engine as ChatGPT. It's just trained specifically for teacher tasks. If you do wind up wanting more criterion, unfortunately, no new rows can be added by the tool, but it it will like generate a row for you in the chat, and then you can manually add rows using the table tool and then copy and paste from the chat into the rubric. To show you how you can regenerate text that is already present, I will highlight a line, select the tool to regenerate. Pretty cool, huh? Obviously, your expertise is needed to ensure that all the performance levels make sense. When you're happy with what you have created, you can export the rubric to a docx or PDF. And this would be a great way to share the rubric with students. But really, to get the most out of the rubric, you would build it in Canvas, which will take a lot of copying and pasting of each cell into the rubric. And I want to warn you that Khanmigo builds the rubric opposite of how Canvas builds the rubric performance levels. In Khanmigo, the performance levels are low to high, while in Canvas, they are high to low. So be sure you are aware of that while you're copying and pasting. This work is best done on a large monitor or dual screens. I personally like to do a side-by-side, and the next part will be a quick visual display of how I would go about moving the Khanmigo rubric into Canvas. Please reach out and make an appointment with us in the CTLA if you want help with this. In this part of the video, I'm just going to try to show you what my workflow is for getting rubrics from Khanmigo into rubrics in Canvas. First of all, I'm going to unhook this tab so that I have these in two different tabs. And if you're on a Windows, you can like scroll, you can click and drag to the side of your screen to try to pop it into a half screen. And on a Mac, you use this little doohickey. And so now I'm going to have my rubric generator over here. My rubric is all set, and I have my assignment over here where I could build a rubric in rubrics, but then I would have to go find the rubric in order to attach it to the assignment. So I may as well just build the rubric here, but you can use find a rubric. Now, before I go through, some of this is super obvious. Change the title, description, the criterion. What I really want to deal with, show you real quick is the ratings, because these are the performance levels, and you'll notice that they're in opposite order. Okay, so full marks to no marks, and this is beginning to exceeding, so totally different. So I can go through, and I'm actually going to align these. Just the first thing I do, I'm going to make it so that these match what I want. Okay, so this is exceeding expectations. And let's make this 20. Okay, update. Or I can just keep the 5. I want to show you something. That's why I'm going to keep the 5. Update the rating. I'm not even going to worry about all of this yet, because I just want to get my heading set up so that I can like duplicate the criterion. And anyways, okay, so I'm going to make a new level, and this is now, see, I'm going backwards, and I'm putting this in here, update. So now I have exceeding, meeting, and then in between here, I need these two new levels. I need developing expectations here. And then I need one more, because technically I do want a 0. Like let's say they don't submit anything. I mean, I guess I could have missing, or maybe they didn't do the documentation. It's up to you. I'm going to have an extra. So beginning expectations and then no marks. Okay, so, and then I can actually change this to missing. That's up to you how you want to grade. But now I have my headings, okay, for my rating levels. And now I can be really careful as I go through. You know, you could even like, yeah, as you go through now you're copying and pasting in each one. What's neat is you can start like duplicating. So I have 3 criterion here. So I could duplicate to make it so that there's 3. Right. And then I can have my 3. And now it's just a matter of kind of going from here to there. So start with the criterion, and it's wherever the pencil is, and I'm pasting in. I do, my personal workflow is Command A to highlight everything that was inside the text box, then Command V. Okay, I can only do that in here. I can't use Control Command A here. But use the pencil here for exceeding. And now that's why I set up these headings first, because it's really natural for us to do beginning here, right? But no, we need to do exceeding first. So exceeding, and then do it over here. And I'm going to go through and do the whole thing. And I'll do it for everything. And yeah, it's time consuming. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But guess what? It's going to help you objectively grade. And for your students in the future that are going to use this rubric, it's going to give them very precise instructions and expectations. It's going to be good. So now I'm going to check mark, use this rubric for assignment grading, and move on from there. One more thing. So this total points is 15 and my points is 30. So I need to make sure that that aligns. Okay. What's cool, so watch what happens if I change to 10 points here. It changes all the points, which is really nice. It does a ratio. It kind of like, so once you set your original ratio, if you change the points, it should align. So it should like change it. So let's do 10. Let's do 10. So now everything's 30. We're good to go. You could change these points, of course, if you need to, but if you were to change this to a higher point, it's going to screw it up. So don't change it higher than the first one. You always want to, like when you're working in Canvas rubrics, you always want to go highest to lowest. They're changing rubrics. Hopefully it's going to be easier in the future. And then you press create rubric. And as long as these total points are the same, then it's all good. And it's going to, there we go. Oh, I didn't change the title, but that's it. That's kind of like how it goes. And you can always go back and edit this as long as it hasn't been used. So I hope that helps, and you'll make mistakes, and that's okay. You're working towards, it's just all about continuous improvement. And even if you're doing this, like after you've already assigned something and you're doing it before you start grading, that's great, because that's going to help you to grade objectively, and your future students will benefit from having a rubric ahead of time. So I would encourage you to do this work now for assignments that don't have rubrics, and watch how it helps. Please reach out to me in the CCLA. Make an appointment if you want to see this or talk about this a little bit more. I'm happy to help.